Hey everybody, it's Carrie at the Racine Heritage Museum, and I'm here today with Catherine Lalonde from the Prairie School. And we are super excited about a project that we have been working on together this year and actually for a number of years. This is a wonderful project that the Prairie School collaborates with the museum on. And so every year we get together with the third graders at Prairie, and we have them learn about what the museum is, what we do here, what our mission is, what people who work here do, and then the history of Racine as a county, as a community, a lot of the different things that happened in Racine's history, so that they can have an appreciation of the city and county that they live in. So each year, we get together in the summer and we start brainstorming ideas for a theme and what we want the kids to do. And this year our theme is No Place Like Home because of COVID. And so we focused on different rooms of a house and different artifacts that are from Racine's history and how those related to each room and different industries that were here in Racine. And then we had the kids really explore the history of Racine as it relates to the community, within the state, within the country, within the world, and then all the way down to an individual level of the people that actually used these items and what it was like to live in these different times. So this year was a challenge. I'm super proud of us for getting it done. We made it happen. We had to kind of be flexible and do some different things. But Catherine, why don't you talk about what it was like for you guys as a class, or how this benefits your curriculum?
Great, I'd love to. Thanks for having me. Most of all, I think this project, year in and year out, is really valuable to our curriculum in third grade for many reasons. I was telling Carrie before that on the surface, it's these exhibits. The kids learn about the history of Racine. They love learning about the different manufacturers or the different companies that have been or still are in Racine. But on many other levels, it develops the students as learners. So it's not just about the exhibits, but our third graders who are 8 and 9 years old learn how to see a project from beginning to end, which is hard to do for adults, let alone kids. They see the beginning and the end of the project, and then they learn how to work all the way through it, which is really, really valuable. They also learn about what a docent does and what goes on behind the scenes of a museum. We are so grateful to be invited in every year, even though we couldn't physically be at the museum this year. I feel really strongly that the students still felt that they were a part of the behind the scenes of the museum via Zoom, and they were really familiar with Carrie's face because we brought her into our classroom and she brought us to the museum. We work really hard on the write-ups, that it's not just about the artifacts, but the students have to work on their writing, work on their grammar and their publishing skills to express their thoughts and their knowledge of what they learned about the things that are found in the cases. And then overall, it's that appreciation that Carrie talked about their community. A lot of our students are from Racine, but a good number of them are not from Racine. But instilling in them the appreciation for a community that they are a part of now and might be for a long time, is really neat to see. And they own this project. They are really proud of the project. And it's the hard work that they put into it, but then also seeing themselves as part of Racine. When we can talk about things that they are familiar with, when we drive past a company that then they've talked about, when they hear companies like J.I. Case and S.C. Johnson and see themselves as part of that and part of history is really, really neat to see.
It is the part you said about seeing a project from beginning to end. It is a huge project, and I really just have respect for you guys for keeping them on task with this, because it's something that sort of takes a lot of time. So as I mentioned, we get together, we come up with a theme, and then here at the museum we start choosing artifacts that can handle being held by third graders, and then we just start presenting these topics and artifacts to the kids. They do research Their writing is amazing. And then they have to actually do the hands-on work of building an exhibit. You know, how are you going to place these things in the exhibit case that really maximizes each artifact?
Sorry to interrupt you, but it made me think that what I didn't mention was the research piece.
Yep.
The text, the information that we're given, Carrie does a fantastic job of presenting the information, but then we're given articles and books about the historical pieces of what we're working with, and they're not third grade texts. And so the students struggle in a really great way. How do I read for knowledge? How do I take that knowledge and turn it into my own thoughts and words, and then put it in writing? I love how the finished product is their words.
I do too.
They do a great job.
You can definitely tell third graders wrote this, but it's awesome.
But it's through their eyes, and they've learned these pieces of history.
Yes.
Through the research. So that was another component that I forgot to speak about.
And it's something I love because, you know, history, I love the historical story, but something that's near and dear to my heart is how each person interprets it through their own lens. And so I love having the third graders' point of view on these stories and having them tell the story from their perspective.
It was really neat. We're standing by the toy exhibit, or the children's room.
Yeah.
And so one part of this, our theme, there's no place like home, was different rooms of a house and how Racine history fits within those rooms. So this is the children's room, and it was really neat to see the kids hold the golden books or hold these paper dolls or these the model tractor. And then when they were asked to think about their own room or their own toys, like, yes, we have books, and I build with things all the time, and I have a model car. For them to make those connections to toys that are 50, 60, 70 plus years old was really neat to see. Yeah. To see that they've made that connection to kids that lived long before they did.
And it's awesome because it helps them see that they're making history right now. You know, someday they're going to look back at this memory, or they're going to look back at the things that were important in their life, this crazy year with COVID, and, you know, be able to tell their story too. So, and I love the aspect of it that, you know, they can see what we do in the museum, and maybe they can be thinking ahead. Maybe I want to work in a museum today, and, you know, I need to be good with writing and research and presenting and things like that. So yeah, it's amazing.
Before COVID, we were able to have an opening night here every year with the third graders, where they got to walk through and enjoy their exhibits with family and friends. And the third graders this year know that we can't do that, but they're so excited. And someone said to me, well, how special it is to have something special after you've worked so hard. And even though we can't give them that this year, knowing that those students realize that when you do work hard, you have that celebration or that honor, and you should be proud of the hard work you've done.
Absolutely.
So that's pretty neat.
And we are proud of this hard work. We are super excited about this exhibit. The whole reason we're making this video is we really want you guys to come in and check out these exhibits. And you know, I realized we have had these exhibits every year, and everybody sees them, and you know, of course, they're always labeled that they're built by the Prairie students, but we wanted to give you the whole background story of this amazing project, and we definitely want to continue this project year after year. Hopefully next year we can have a little more community involvement like we have had in the past. You know, we just know that there's going to be more awesome things that we can do with this project, so it's pretty cool.
It is. It's definitely one of our favorites.
All right, thanks for listening. Please come in and check out the exhibits that the kids made. They worked really hard on them, and they are awesome. See you later.
Thank you.
Bye.